Good. Good, good. Good morning. Takes forever after the countdown. I don't quite understand why. All right, happy Tuesday. Here I am, and so pleased to be with you. Whoops. And not quite set up, but there we go. All right. So, I'm planning on doing card readings today. So good to be here. It's always good to be here. I love whatever happens. It is a thrill every time, because I don't know what's going to happen. I like that. I have lots of fives in my name. 5 is about change. And hello, Malia. This inferno kind of day. I heard there was a heat warning. I have to say I have the great good fortune to be in a very, I guess, well-insulated space, because, touch wood, I'm just in a really nice mellow band of temperature that is serving me well. So I'm sorry if you're in an inferno. That seems very cruel. Okay, you would love a card. I would love to pull a card for you. I need a card from Leah. This is the card for Leah. Oh, interesting. Are you working on something right now? Is number 15. It is the synthesis card. So this is you, the one, the identity, the person. And 5, which is expansion and growth. And we're coming together into a 6, which is about service. And sometimes that's about service to your community. Often it's about service to your own life path, to your intentions in this lifetime. The thing with these brambles is that they're all in different stages of development. And hi, Alinta, I'll draw a card for you in a minute. Different stages of development, from the ones that are still white and tiny and hard, through the slightly bigger green ones, the pink ones, the peachy ones, the purple ones, all the way to the black ones. So there's stuff that is available to you that is in different places, different stages, different phases, and it is for you to bring them together and make something coherent out of those messages. So I don't know if you're working, Malia, or what it is that's going on. Akanksha, hello. I'm pulling for Alinta first, and then I will pull for you. Whoops. And hopefully Malia will answer me whether her card made any sense at all. I've got an upside down card there. Okay. All right, so for Alinta, interesting in your love life, having a love life intention on this card. Okay, for Alinta's love life, oh, we're getting potential. We are getting potential. So I'm not sure. The thing with this card, the white pine, if you picture yourself at the center of a cluster of pine needles, you have the potential to travel in any direction you choose. And while you are sitting, you are the one of the 19. That is your identity. That is your individuality. The 9 is the number of all things, connection to all things, holistic energy within the universe. So you are at the center of all possibilities. When we add them together, we get 10, and then we add the 1 and the 0, we get that 1 again. We're back to you and your place within the infinite potential of the universe. So this is suggesting that you're at a place at the beginning of a growth, at the and very much at a place where you are in charge of the choices that are being made. So I hope that makes sense for you, Alinta. Anything for my love life? There is potential in many directions. So I guess that the easy answer is that if you're in isolation, that's very hard. But even then, um, we're using technology to make connections, and we have been in the dating world for a long time, and I suppose that's still a possibility. Okay, this is Akanksha. I'm so sorry. I always want to say names correctly, but I'm unfamiliar with that name. It's rather lovely. I love the K's. K is a 2 energy, which is about relationship, which is very nice. Okay. Okay, it's over here. It is here. Okay. All right. So it's giving you, you're welcome, Melinda. I hope that made sense for you. It's giving you anticipation, which is a lovely energy of being almost there and enjoying the knowledge that it is coming for sure. This peach tree cannot deny the presence of leaves, even though they're not there at the moment. They are so close to just being fully formed. The 2 and the 4, 2 is about relationships, and that's all relationships, not only romantic relationships, but everybody that you're in contact with, all the people whose lives you touch on your way through. 4 is about practicality and building a foundation. So if in your work you were dealing with people, training them for an ongoing project, something like that, that would be very relationship and foundation. They're coming together into a 6, which is service, and we just saw with another card that service, it can be about serving the community, it can be about serving your own intentions along your life path, moving towards your destiny. So service sometimes requires you to take responsibility for things, and life requires that you take responsibility for things. 6 also can be about doing things because you feel that they are your duty. So maybe not entirely with a full heart, but because you believe you have to. With an anticipation energy, I think that the 6 is much more voluntary. It's something that you're drawn to do. It's a service that you want to perform because you know it's the right thing to do, and that's often connected with your intention. Malia, you're not working. Are you trying to think what you're doing are you, I know there's an organization you were volunteering with where you were helping people who maybe could benefit from you finding information from different sources and synthesizing information for them that they weren't able to gather for themselves. And I don't know whether you're still doing that online now that we're not out doing stuff in person. There is so I'm thinking that might be it. Okay, so that makes sense to you. I am delighted. And if you, yeah, Okay, I love all your hearts, shiny hearts. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, if anybody else is here, let me know in the comments. I still haven't figured out how to get myself that eyeball thing. So I don't know who's here, who's not. It isn't giving me names when people enter. If you can't find the comment box, drop out of full screen, because I know some browsers eat that. Okay. So we have, I love that my two new visitors have letter A beginnings. There's a, I am glad you're here, and I trust that anticipation card made sense for you. It is lovely of you to be here. Feel free to tag friends. We're still, oh, it's 11:11 where I am. If you have friends that you think would enjoy having a card drawn for them, tag them in the comments, and let's hope that they get here. We have still a lot of time, so this is cool. And what was I saying about the A? I love the A. My middle name begins with an A. My initials are JAL, and my dad's name began with an A. Everything begins with an A. It is that one. That is the thing that arrives. There was no alphabet, and then there was an A. The one energy that comes from the void. A is one is a beginning, and it's an initiation, and depending where it shows up. And J and S are also ones. Of course, I get the J at the beginning of mine, which is wonderful. So yes, there was the void, and then there was something, and that is the number one, and the letter A fulfills that energy, that place where stuff starts, which is a very, very powerful energy. And here in the physical world, the beginnings of things, the seed bursting open, putting out a shoot, things like that. And this time of year, we're seeing a lot of that. I'm in the northern hemisphere, in a place where spring was I think on Tuesday and or on Monday. Today we're having summer. It's very warm and very bright and very lovely. And the plants are in huge, it does end with an A, and it's a very, very powerful enclosing energy as well. So there's the keystone and the capstone and all sorts of stuff. If you're interested in having your whole name analyzed and learning about the energies of each part of it, then I would encourage you to go to my website, which is joleath.com, spelt as it is spelt for this page. And did I say while you're here, please like and follow so that you know when I'm back. I'm fairly predictably here, certainly Fridays at 2, and at the moment Tuesdays at 11. That started off being a commitment for May, and I think it's going to go forward. And what else? There's always the opportunity to connect with me one-on-one. You can book on my website. If you go to the readings tab, then it will help you to find me, and we can spend some time together. Still got a special on. I don't have much time in May. I had a special for May, but now I'm going to extend it. If you make your appointment during May, we can have our session in June. 50 minutes for $50, because on May the 12th I had been in Canada for 50 years. So that was a decision I made way before we had a reason to be isolated. And it has worked out well for people who are stuck at home and can't get to the stores where I usually would be, or indeed who don't live anywhere near me. We are making the most out of this circumstance. So yeah, your K's are twos. You've got the A in the middle. You've got a 5 and a 1 and an 8. It's a lovely, lovely name. I like that. All right. So we didn't establish a theme for today. I was speaking with someone earlier. And we were addressing the concept of relationships in terms of finding simpatico, finding the people who are our tribe, finding. And right now it's very difficult. It's not as if you can go to a vegetarian restaurant and meet vegetarians, and you can't go to an independent movie and meet the kind of people who want to watch Parasite or whatever. So I think today, maybe just looking at the energies, looking at the messages that open up, hopefully they'll open up. So for Malia, gathering information from multiple sources, I don't know if that just comes back to you and I know you have a diverse community online, people in New Zealand and people in Canada and America that you connect with. And perhaps right now that's where you're finding community and finding your clan. For the potential, somebody was asking about romantic relationships and got the potential card, which really does kind of speak to the idea that you can sit at the center and examine, do you want to meet someone who is in, I don't know the names of the softwares, but Plenty of Fish is different from Lava Life, is different from other things, and you get to sit and choose who are the people. I know there are systems where you pay, and there are systems where you don't pay. Deciding what it is that you want is part of coming to terms with where it's going to go. Do you believe in soulmates? I believe in sacred contracts. I believe that before we came into the physical, we were in communication with other souls, with the people who agreed that they would provide a family for us. So our parents, we had a contract with our parents that we would come into their lives and be a teacher for them, and they would be a teacher for us. So that kind of sacred contract, I think there are people all through our lives that we have agreed we will cross paths and we will learn from each other. I do hope, hello cousin Kathy, lovely to see you. Certainly I had a long-term relationship and a romance with somebody that, I don't know if soulmate is the right word, but absolutely contracted. We both became better people because we were together. And that is, I cannot imagine that anybody else would have taken place of that. Yeah. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I'll leave that there. Kathy, cousin Kathy. Would you like me to draw you a card? I would love to draw you a card. And while I've been shuffling, I've had a card that I didn't think I was going to use for a community card, except it jumped out a second time. Same one. So obviously it is the community card. And it is number 8. It is flow. And this I love this red-headed fountain grass. It's a beautiful thing. Grows in Nova Scotia in meadows that are not being cultivated while they lie fallow. You see this coming up. You see a whole field of sort of pink, because when you get away from it, it just gives a pinky violety hue. And when the breezes go over, it moves like waves. It's absolutely beautiful. So it connects with the concept of flow, and that 8. 8 is the lemniscate. When we lie it down, it's about infinite energy. It's and it occurs in the number grid between the 7 and 9, which are the two spiritual numbers. The 8 is the one that provides the flow of spiritual energy so that it can come into the physical world, so that it can come into our lives. Yes, thank you. Okay, Kathy. Here we go. Cassie's card. Cassie's card. Cassie's card is up here. This is Kathy's card. Ooh, nice. Okay. We have number 25. Celebrate. It's lovely. It's Hawthorne for May. We're still in May. I think this was a chosen card back at the beginning of the month, and I haven't seen it since, so it's rather lovely to have it come up. The 2 and the 5, 2 is about relationships and being with community and being together with other people. 5 is that growth and expansion that moves us. That's that very sort of party energy where community is together and progressing together, and they come together as 7, which is the teacher, because we learn from our celebrations. We learn from being with community, from being with we learn about ourselves, and we learn about our community, and we learn what we want, what we don't want. And the hawthorn is a beautiful blossom this time of year as it comes, and there's not a lot of effort that goes into celebration. It's a lovely, just allowing the energy, the goodness, the well-being. Abraham Hicks calls it well-being. We live in a universe of well-being. So allowing well-being to flow through us, to flower through us, to bring us into a common vibration with the people who are around us, and just celebrate being together. I think you've got cards are very jumpy today. You have a big transition coming up in your life, and I think that's certainly worthy of. It's realigning your community. It's growing and expanding and progressing you on your path. And no doubt you will learn about the people who are involved. You'll learn about yourself and your expectations. And I think that fits, and it's so worth celebrating the opportunity that is coming to you, and the new circumstances that are going to be there. So yes, I think that fits. You can tell me yes or no. All right, yes, lovely card, the flow card. That is true. Is anybody else here lurking, not saying anything? Drop out of full screen to find your comment box. Please like and follow this page. Please sign up for my newsletter. I'm just going to sit here and plead with you all. Okay, let me see. Nobody else that I can ascertain. This is, we've been talking about the letter A a little, Kathy, I think before you got here. You're Anderson. Anderson with its A is it's just a really strong, powerful energy where things begin. We're appreciating the A is valued at 1 in the obviously first one in the alphabet, right? So representing all kinds of beginnings and original thinking and that kind of thing. I know that a lot of the family is blessed with that Anderson as part of their everyday vibration. That's a lovely thing. And they hopefully are the beginners, the early adopters, the people who set trends. We've got a lot of A people here today, which is nice. And even, I don't know, Malia, if you're still here, but I know your middle name begins with an A. So it's there. We're all working with A's. That's rather lovely. Rather lovely. Okay. Anybody else who has come? We're talking about finding our tribe. So our clan, our community, our like-minded people, so that celebrate fits with that too, Kathy. Very, very literally, as well as in any kind of symbolic terms, that you are able to really raise vibration around where you're going in the next while and the community you're going to be a part of. It's rather lovely. I like that. I do. Okay. It is something to celebrate. Yeah, it's bringing certainty to a very sort of precarious situation as things go for during these times, right? We're living in interesting times, which used to be likely still is, a Chinese curse. May you live in interesting times. Okay, now I've got a thing that says Laurie's here, and I'm not seeing Laurie. Laurie, if you're here, let me know. Drop out of full screen. Tell me in the comment box that you're looking for a card. That will be cool. Okay, somebody was asking me about soulmates, and I got talking about sacred contracts, and I think, Kathy, you and I had a contract to cross paths in our mature years. It's rather a wonderful thing. Yeah. And yes, family takes on a whole new meaning when that happens. Very cool. Yes. Really, really, really hoping that one day you and I can be in social proximity with each other. That would be so nice. So I was talking to my coach this morning, and I'm going to be exploring some different ways of working online in the coming weeks. So be back here Friday at 2. Maybe by then I will have something that I can say I'm going to be here in this way or there in that way, or whatever. I will definitely be here in Facebook Live on Friday at 2 Eastern. I don't know who's where. Right now it's 11:30 in the morning in Eastern time. Yes. Yes. You have good numbers, Kathy. One of these days I'll have to chart out your name for you. I kind of sort of think that there was one day you would either hear or some other live I was doing, and doing real quickie birth date things, but one day we'll do it for real. For real, for real. Okay, what else can we talk about? Yes, proximity. Everybody's plans of every kind are on hold. Even plans as far away as 2021, all of a sudden, they can't be, it doesn't make sense to try and apply certainty to a very, very questionable and variable situation. Everything is so uncertain. We're getting a chance to learn about ourselves and how we adapt and how we, some people are in real psychic distress and suffering enormously from the uncertainty and from the isolation. Lots of reasons why different people are reacting. Not that they're reacting badly, but they're discovering that this is very uncomfortable for them and that they have to make adaptations that they didn't expect. I don't think any of us ever took a class on how to be physically distant from other people to keep ourselves healthy and to not spread a virus around. We're learning all the time. It's very interesting. I am very blessed. I have great privilege in that I'm psychologically suited to isolation. I love my solitude. And I'm living in a time when technology means I can choose to talk to people whenever I want and not when I don't want. Blessed. I am so blessed. And I do know that. I'm very aware of how fortunate I am to have this particular mindset. All right. So what am I it is no new questions, no new people, still no eyeballs. It was on my list before we got locked in, to I need a new water bottle. This one is very inconvenient for me. I still don't have one, because why would I? All right. Well, if nobody else is coming, it makes me want to do something else, something different, something. Is it only you, Cassie? This is the question. We could, what could we do? We could pull a new and different deck. It will make for an interesting video for the people who come afterwards. But it's okay. I have my Carolyn Myss deck. It's a little bit the worn for wear, but you can read that. I got a chance to go to Carolyn Myss. I met her in person and attended an event and a training and a learning and a lecturing. I went to Boston, Massachusetts back in 2010 or 2011. Yeah, back then sometime. All right. Anybody who's here, if you would like me to draw you a card from the Carolyn Myss deck, please let me know. I'm going to shuffle out a huge deck. Huge deck. Oh, and I've got them upside down, some of them. Oh dear. Okay, so if you would like one while I sort them out a little bit, you can tell me in the comment box. And okay, hello, Pervasia. What a beautiful name, and another letter A. If you're watching the video, you will see that we've been talking about the letter A. Okay, so since you ask now, I'm going to assume that you are waiting for the Carolyn Myss deck. And I'm going to draw a card for Pervasia. Oh, that one. Positively hot. Okay, Pervasia. You have the networker. And it's coming in the color of the third eye. So it could be that you are you're working with spirit as well as in the physical. It reads that the light attributes enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. This is very much a number for the 2000s, that connection and connectivity energy that we're into now. The shadow attributes, it says this is someone who conveys information only for personal gain and spreads fear and falsehood. So that's that whole fake news, deep faking kind of stuff. But I don't imagine, Pervasia, that you would be here if you were living in the shadow. The image of somebody who is spreading it's mailing envelopes with addresses and stamps on them and sprinkling them all across the globe. Of course, very symbolic, just of that idea of spreading information. And I don't know if you are a an internet what's the word we want, an influencer, but that would be that kind of a card. If it's more that in your physical life, maybe you're a teacher, maybe you're certainly the example that you set is an influence for the people in your network, people who know you, even if you're living away from most of them right now. How you continue to engage with other people is informative, even if you're not teaching them formally. Does that make sense? They look at you and they see how to connect with each other because you show them by what you're doing. All right. Okay. So a card for Kathy. Okay, so we have the Knight. It says loyalty, romance and chivalry, and the love of honor. In the shadow attributes, it's allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle and romantic delusions. I don't think that you are necessarily delusional. I think the idea of romance and loyalty and chivalry and honor. Are you any kind of a follower of Star Trek? Because this is a sort of Klingon energy that there are rules of engagement. There is you have an underlying system that you understand about what is right and what is wrong and what is good and what is bad, and you're very much invested in being the good person and doing the right thing and following those rules that you absolutely don't want to hurt anybody. I don't think you are living in the shadows. I don't think you're delusional. But the idea of, certainly I know loyalty, the very fact that you're here with me tells me that you're loyal. The idea of living in honor, that you don't do things that give anybody a chance to point fingers and say, oh, she was wrong, she did this wrong, she was dishonorable, she was disrespectful. You don't do that. You have a code of conduct. That's the word I was looking for, a code of conduct. That, okay, all right, so you don't know what the Klingons mean, and that's all right. A lot of people don't. Klingons do have a code of conduct, and they express it. And I think you do too. And whether it's what you learnt at your mother's knee or whether it's what you have, okay, you're agreeing. So we're good. It is good. Yes. It's not necessarily something that's in a book someplace that anybody else can have, the Kathy Dalby Anderson code of conduct, but you know what it is. And that's all that matters in the end. That's rather lovely. The dark green, I don't usually deal in the colors in this deck, but I'm getting, because green is the heart chakra, and the darkness of this tells me there's just depth, deep heart energy that goes to the very core of you. And I guess maybe that's related to the idea of a code of conduct, that you just know in your heart how things should be and how you should be in the world. And it's deep. When we picture the green of the heart chakra, it's often much lighter than this, brighter, more plant colored. This is so deep. It's lovely. I like that. That's a good energy. All right, I'm glad you agree. Is anybody else here? Hello. Pervasia, I hope that networker made sense for you. Kathy is here. Okay, let me take the time now to turn these cards around. I obviously it doesn't matter, but at the same time, I like to start with them all the right way around. It's very interesting to see how many of them turn themselves while I'm shuffling, even without my noticing. Okay. So I think we're probably alone here, Kathy. I hope things are good for you in your packing and your downsizing and your changing and your doing. I have, okay. Yes, it has been the big deck, this, and they're thick cards. They come out. So what else is new and exciting? It's 1:45. Often people come in at the last minute. Have I? I have. I've managed to lose the integrity of that change already. That is so interesting. This is perhaps a lesson to me that I can't impose my will on all things. That I turned them to be together, and I've still ended up with some of them being downside up. Fascinating. Whoops. Okay. So, one of my writing assignments this week, Kathy, was about learning, well, a lot of things, but included learning about my connection with you. That was, of course, life-changing. I'm glad things are good. And I hope you carry my greetings to all of your all of your multitudes of family, your siblings, and all of the children and grandchildren, some of whom I know who they are, not all. Oh, what else can I tell you? I do spend a little bit of time on the genealogy site looking for the other lines. Your mum, of course, was found because of the shared genetics. Now I'm looking for the people who connect with my mum, but not with your mum. And that makes for some interesting explorations. Also, I've found some people on my dad's side that are mostly incredibly distant, sort of fourth cousins and that kind of thing. But one or two of them we've figured out where the commonality is, so that's cool. What else? I'm busy all the time. I don't know what I'm doing to share it. Client this afternoon, client tomorrow, lots of Friday. I'll be back here if you're watching the video. Yes, Friday it'll still be May. I can't see my calendar. Okay, if this is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the 29th, is that right? I will be here. Okay, I think it's just you and me, Kathy, talking to the future and the people who watch the video. Do you have any message to send into the future? Be a fun and happy thing to share. And what else? I am Nadia. Hello, how lovely to see you. Welcome. This is very good. If you would like a card, let me know in the comment box. I do have my deck here, but at the moment I'm shuffling and reading from Carolyn Myss Archetype cards, so I'll draw from this unless you express a preference, okay? Whoops. Carolyn Myss. Love these cards. But I do have these right here. And I did do a community reading earlier, and the flow card came up, so that concept of spiritual flow, and okay, all right, I'm going to count back the seconds with how long it takes, and I'm going to go with the Carolyn Myss, and then if you want we'll do the other, because there seems to be lots of time to work. Okay, so for Nadia, Nadia's card is in here. The card I am getting, oh, how lovely, This is a very heart chakra color. I'm getting the healer, and it reads the passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, the ability to help transform pain into healing. If you were living in the shadow, and I don't believe you were, you wouldn't be here. It would be about taking advantage of people who need help and failing to care for yourself. Which, of course, if you're taking advantage of other people, then your own spirit is diminished and your own field is damaged. So that's a really lovely card, and it speaks to, it's very much the green of the heart chakra, that coming from that place that is where you channel universal love into the world, and your ability serving others by repairing body, mind, and spirit. Okay, well, I think you're being told you have permission. You have the call to become an art therapist. Art therapy is wonderful, wonderful field, and if that's what you're called to, then this card coming up is spirit confirming that decision. That is wonderful. And heal yourself, of course, because we teach what we need to learn, and that's wonderful, Nadia. Obviously, Spirit wanted you to get this kind of confirmation and affirmation and validation, because it is your heart that is calling. You are very welcome. I would love to hear from you in the future to know how that comes about. That's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Is there anybody else coming in? Oh my. That's so I love how spirit knows. Doesn't matter where you are. It's amazing. I'm certainly learning in this time of isolation, how well we're able to adapt to these new ways of coordinating. You have a beautiful and blessed day too, Nadia. Delighted to have met you. I'm back on Fridays and Tuesdays. Tuesday at 11 Eastern, Friday at 2 Eastern. If you like and follow the page before you leave, then you should get notified when I'm going to be here. And that would be lovely. Love to see you again. All right. So, who else is still here? Malia, I know you sometimes stay and watch and support. I have lovely energy around me when I'm doing this. And I'm imagining that Kathy is still here just because it's what we do. We need to set up time to have a one-on-one conversation, Kathy. I had such a good time the last time we did that. And I don't know why I don't do it with more of the family. Please, if you're talking to the right people, send my love to Janet, because I miss her. I miss her presence. And I know that she's a bit cut off right now. Okay. What else are we going to do? Next week is June. And the energy will shift just because of the way the calendar works. We're going from the 5th month into the 6th month. So everything marches one forward. 2020 as a year has 4 energy. Talked about this before. We're laying down the foundations on which to build a new future. And that's rather a wonderful thing. I got a jump and yet nothing happened. Odd. So this month, May, brought its 5 added to the 4 of the year, and was showing us the end of a cycle. 4 and 5 is 9. 9 is always a time of completion, of releasing things that aren't working, of concluding projects that have been underway for a while. I think it certainly applies for a lot of us to just we're having that before and after kind of situation where we have a chance to reevaluate things and release the stuff that we don't want to carry forward anymore. And that is a very fine thing and very aligned with the way the calendar works. So next month, when we go into a six months added to the 4 of the year, that gives us a 10, which has, of course, vibration of 1, beginning of the new cycle, which inevitably follows the close of the previous one. So in June, we're going to get a chance to formulate plans of how we're going to be going forward, how it looks now that we've released those things that we don't want to take. We need a vision. We need to understand what we're going to use as replacements and what we're going to how we're going to reconfigure things to serve us, so that we don't have to deal with the things we've identified as being either superfluous or deleterious or toxic to our way of being. For people who come to figure out that they don't want to commute for an hour or an hour and a half, and working from home is a good thing, that may or may not require changing jobs. So during June, we're going to be spending time looking for how those new beginnings can be. Can we negotiate a work at home thing? Are we willing to say we'll work from home except for Tuesdays when we'll go to the office, or whatever that is? There's so much possibility that just never would have been considered until we spent May identifying the things we don't want. Abraham Hicks, anybody who follows the teachings of Abraham Hicks, they say that when you know what you don't want, you're closer to what you do want, and the 9-month often provides a chance to identify those undesirable things and to give permission to release the undesirable things, opening up a way, because then there's the time and the space for other activities and other behaviors and other attitudes and other learning to fill the spaces that have been opened. So it's really rather exciting going into June. I will be, okay, so a message for the future. Oh, it's a big one. Gracious me, see more. All right, what is on my mind a lot is a feeling of contentment. I think we all need this downtime. I think it has helped us to grow in every way. I absolutely agree. I know a lot of people are struggling with loneliness, not being able to work and not being able to be with family. I believe we will look back and realize that this time was beneficial. Everything happens for a reason. It must be in the genes, Kathy. Absolutely, 100% agree with you. This pause has given us a space for light and growth and reflection and all sorts of positive things. And yeah, I totally agree with you there. So whoever's watching this video, know that wise people were here. Kathy's message is absolutely on board. So thank you for that. Appreciate it, Kathy. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I have to, what's today's Tuesday? I have to make a video before Thursday. There's another place that I have said I will deliver a video on Thursday, and I will most likely use a different Yeah, it won't be on here, that's for sure. But I do need to do that. For some reason, talking about leaving the video information reminded me of that. I'm sure it's on my list. And what else? I have another couple of minutes. Oh, almost. No, maybe not. We're at the hour. Nobody else seems to be here. So Kathy, thank you so much for your wonderful, wonderful insights and thinking, and for your company today, and for your general loveliness. I'm so glad that you are in my life. I really truly am. People watching in the future. Fan party for my cousin Kathy. The card that jumped out for the community was the flow card. That lovely in breath, out breath. The one can't exist without the other. It's the connection between the physical and the non-physical. This energy that comes in and energizes us and enlivens this body that we are. So thank you for being here. I will be back Fridays at 2 for the rest of the lock-in, however long that may be. And at the moment, I think I can safely say for June, I'll be here Tuesdays at 11 as well. All times are Eastern. I really appreciate the people who attend live, who make this what it is. And I love that people are watching and sharing the videos. I really, really do. JoLeath.com, sign up for the newsletter. This page, like and follow, keep track of me. And I will look forward to talking with you all again soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste.